Hey guys, Disorder Magic here, and you're probably wondering, why is this OBA number 82? Well, other people were wondering, hey, why did you upload 83 right after 81 and you never uploaded 82? And I'm just sitting here wondering, they're arbitrary numbers, they're not in any kind of order, who cares? So basically, I made a folder for OBA 82 and then downloaded the card image and then assumed that the folder meant that I had already made the video, but I didn't. Wow, all that time wondering and waiting, and you finally have the answer. I hope it's the closure you were looking for. So this card is all the way from back in Tempest, so it's not Modern legal, but it is Commander legal, and it's pretty funny in Commander. The rarity symbol is black, and I guess they just did that back then. It's actually an uncommon, but it's only $1 on eBay, so don't worry about it if you want to pick one up. Now, you guys know I'm a big fan of like Kefnet's Last Word and cards like that, where it's like hugely powerful. It is like ungodly overpowered. But because of that, the drawback of the card is like comically severe. Like Pact of Negation. Oh, you can counter any spell for, 0, I think? For 0 mana? You can counter any spell? Oh, but if you don't come up with 5 mana at your next upkeep, you lose the entire game. Oh, gee, is that all? Oh, Kefnets, by the way, you can take control of any permanent on the field that isn't a land. Absolutely anything. But you don't get to untap any of your lands next turn, so basically you lose the majority of your next turn. But I still absolutely love the card because, if you're really cautious and you're a good, smart, experienced player, you can take these massive downsides and kind of diminish them to the point where you can actually play the card. And this is like that type of card personified. It's not quite that one card, also an OBA, I believe, that says you tie the game. Like, you and target player tie the game. There's literally a card that says that. But, it's definitely a Kefnet's Last Word 2.0. Okay, it's like super fun to try to guess the card, so I gave you guys like a ton of hints and a ton of time. So, pause the video if you don't want to hear what it is. Okay, coming in with its amazingly lowercase h, Abandon Hope. Okay. Wizard says it's the designer of the font. The font designer decided to make the uppercase H look like that. It's not our fault. Everybody else on planet Earth says that they should have picked a different font when they saw that the uppercase H looked wrong. Who do you think is at fault? I'm curious. My vote goes for both. What the heck was the font designer thinking, and why did Wizards approve this font? So that drove people nuts for a couple years, but anyway, this is a black sorcery. It technically only costs 2, and you can't pay the X with mana. So choose and discard X of your own cards, look at target opponent's hand, and choose X of those cards, and that player discards that many. Or as I like to call it, if I go down, I'm taking you with me. That's a Star Fox 64 quote. Now, this card is obviously like comically bad in multiplayer Commander because, well, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot so hard just to like wreck somebody else's chance of winning, which is exactly why it's in my Commander deck. You get on my bad side in a multiplayer Commander game and I am going to wreck your day. Well, remember, I did a blue-white don't attack me deck. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to put some aspects of it in black-white. So a lot of people look at this and they're like, this is just stupid. First of all, you have to choose the number of cards before you look at your opponent's hand, so you have no idea how many important cards they have, I guess you would say. And then secondly, you lose just as much as they do. So the balance is, oh, well, you got rid of cards you kind of don't need. Like, they're way too expensive, you're never going to cast them in a reasonable amount of time, or it's an extra land, or just whatever, and then you get rid of their best cards. So, oh, cool, but it's very situational. You got to go into it completely blind. It's just a bad card, right? Oh, wrong. First of all, if you were to throw out a 2/1 for 1 on turn 1, which black has a couple of them, at least 2 that I can name, if you throw that out and then second turn 6 for 6 them, they are going to be in trouble. Now, could they top deck their way out of, oh no, a 2/1 creature? Probably. Within 10 turns, yeah. Well, in Commander, it'd be 20 turns. But in like a normal constructed game, this would be hilarious. It really would work. So early game, it's kind of funny if you got a superior board state. Mid game, it's pretty funny if you've got a good board state. And late game, it's pretty funny if you've got a good board state. If you have enough cards to fund it, and if they have enough cards to make it worthwhile. So it's a lot of if, and it's a little bit of a risk, but taking every card out of their hand potentially and getting rid of it, like, who can come back from that? They're automatically top decking. Unless they have like a scry, a fetch, or a card draw trigger, they are in trouble. There's just no two ways about it. So like I said, great power, great drawback. That's just how these cards work, so you got to use them appropriately. So honestly, the ideal deck that I would put this in is a blind draw deck. So it's not, oh, scry 2, draw 2, you know, some kind of read the bones thing or whatever. It's just like, I'm going to put cards in my hand repeatedly with triggers and cards. And then you're always going to have more cards than them, theoretically. And so even if you had to ditch like 4 cards that you really need to get rid of 4 cards that they need, but you had 6, you have 2 and they have 0 then. So, I mean, as long as you kept your ideal 2, you could single-handedly win the game because of this card. Not with the card, but because of it. So if you already spied on their hand, that would be kind of cool. But otherwise, I mean, still, you need to not get rid of something more helpful to you than the cards that you got rid of that help them. So hey, if this seems like something you want to pick up, it is $1. Why not? I think they're so cheap, they actually pretty much just sell them in bulk, so you might as well get 4 of them. Okay, so as for the flavor text, I don't know anything about the Tempest storyline, so let's just kind of phone it in here. You ready for this? As Gerard's form vanished into the maw of trees, Hannah mouthed a silent plea, mourning a crushed dream. Hannah, okay, like, get over it, all right? You're a strong, independent woman. You don't need no Gerard. Honestly, I'm sure he was a dick anyway. Lots of fish in the sea. You can do better. I would lose the ponytail, though. It's a little too 90s. I mean, you style that crap up, maybe even go take a spa day, you know, just do it for you, and then just come back and hit the dating scene hard, and you don't need Gerard. You won't even remember his name. Watching the storyline, Gerard's probably like her brother. So anyway, if this card looks like a riot to you, feel free to try to put it into something. I think it's hilarious, you know, kind of trolly card, but also you could really make some good use out of it circumstantially. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you have any cool suggestions for overlooked but awesome cards, you know, obscure older stuff that's hyper powerful but not played very much in a format, or, you know, something that people kind of do know about, but it might not be tier 1, tier 2, and it's worth mentioning in case somebody missed it. Anything like that, let me know down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next video.